don't know. There's a lot of things I love about the LCS. I think for me, it's the idea of making like a big impression on the international stage for the LCS. I would say like I have a lot of like memories, like fanship, nostalgia, whatever you want to call it, of the LCS because I've been watching this league since I've been a kid, honestly. So I've watched a lot of the X players grow. I've watched me play with them. I've watched like me grow, my teammates grow. And yeah, it's just I want to do well for my region.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting ready for Game 2 between Cloud9 and Shopify Rebellion. And I definitely empathize with Blaber there as someone who also grew up watching the LCS first, seeing you guys like Kobe and Jad and even Riv back in the day as well, and now joining the stage. It's definitely a pleasure to be here. And for Blaber, someone...
Good drawings
I love those drawings.
Holy.
Always have some very talented fans in the audience today. But one of the things I want to remind people about Blaber is that he is the longest tenured member on Cloud9, already considered one of the premier organizations in the LCS so far today. And the fact that Blaber is still probably their most notable player, the one that has stayed with them the longest, speaks to the caliber of his play and his career so far.
Yeah, Reaper talking about, you know, having him plus Jojo plus Berserker on the same team as like a core also is really nice building blocks. And Thanatos, amazing first game there. I mean, just roaming down, he had the shoved wave. It's quite easy to get the first blood. But then what he did with that first blood and absolutely destroyed top lane, taking the entire turret, made the game very, very easy for Cloud9. So now it's really turning up the pressure on Shopify. We're going to have to look at basically everybody, I would say except Insanity. Insanity, he accomplished what they wanted with their Lucian pick, you know, try and take advantage of the Corki early on. He did a very good job, as we mentioned, in the early lane phase, but that was about it for Shopify. That was like the only shining bright spot, and then the rest of it was just full takeover by Cloud9. So we'll see what they can do from the red side here as we get into draft. On red side, they're going to final ban Zyra, actually, which does leave open the Skarner. And Shopify, they were the team, remember. They were getting flamed a lot for leaving up the Skarner and then picking the Rumble
Flowers
for
included.
FakeGod. But the Rumble into the Skarner that they tried to use twice and failed with both times is not the only answer that you can use if they still believe in that one, which you do have a good lane phase versus Skarner, and you do have an easy way to build right into Leandries and percent health damage, but you can also go for other strats versus Skarner. Like you can do a Twisted Fate strat, try and play the whole map, use your ultimate. Gold cards are very good at stopping the Skarner when he's trying to go for ease and is trying to drive at people.
Sure.
The other ones are like the Mordekaiser, where we saw Impact absolutely decimate. That one was amazing. The Olaf is another real niche one that in a 1v1 scenario, you know, obviously your ultimate and being able to run down the Skarner is actually a really fun one that I like from solo queue, but we have not seen that one pop up quite yet. So let's get right into it though, Rafaa. Guess what? Are you surprised to see a Corki and a Karthus together?
Nope. Yeah. And Kobe, I let you finish, but I just know somewhere in the back in one of our green rooms, Flowers is mauling over the fact that Skarner was even let through. He has been absolutely relentless in saying, guys, if you want to win, then ban this champion away from the enemy team. And Shopify has not shown that they have had the answer into a Skarner regardless of which team has picked it so far. But it seems like their response is going to be the Renekton. This is one of FakeGod's most played champions throughout his career. Maybe a return to comfort despite staring a Scorpion in the face can be what gives Shopify an edge. But the way that Thanatos absolutely mauled him in the first game, I'm
You're not optimistic, huh?
Yep.
I'm picking up on that a little bit. Yeah, I mean, the Renekton, it's also something where you have a lot more pressure on you to get an early advantage over a Skarner, because Skarner's going to bring so much to team fights. Skarner has really, really good engage here, and when you already on the side of Cloud9 have the Corki and Karthus, there's so much damage at a very long range as well at their disposal. So Shopify, they spend both their bans though on more engaged support champs here for VULCAN. That has really been the best of VULCAN that we have seen. That's why this meta has been so good for him in particular, and having a bit of a bounce back here for himself in particular. Meanwhile, it opens up their possibility to pick the Zeri here, not having to deal with a Nautilus ultimate point and click. And with the Leona options, does mean it's going to be the Zeri plus the Ezreal dual carry again.
Yeah, with Ezreal mid, this is Insanity's now first foray with this champion. Everyone is being inspired by Quid these days, but Cloud9, what is there going to be their response for the bottom side of the map? Ashe was still left open during this entire draft phase, and whether it's in the hands of support or AD carry, you have long-range engage that you can fish for picks during the mid-game.
And I really like the AD carry option here because they already have, like we mentioned, the Karthus and the Corki is plenty of damage for your team fight for later. So having the utility of an Ashe really does look nice. Also, Berserker has been so good on this champion. Really does make use of the full kiting potential. Able to use the slow and keep people at range, keep very nice spacing. So now you've got an Ashe Arrow plus a Rakan to just guarantee your engage. Nice little robust team composition for Cloud9. What can Shopify do to try and crack it? They are going to get some more setup here in the Alistar for Zeyzal. It does really sacrifice your level 1 priority. So whenever you have Ashe on the opponent team, plus Alistar really doesn't get to do a whole lot on level 1. You'll see Cloud9 set up Blaber for some good clears. Maybe they even go as far as to get some deeper wards here. But the Karthus, of course, is going to be one of those full clear champions. They are going to be scaling on both him and Jojo pretty aggressively.
And we've already seen how well Blaber has adapted to this meta. The Zyra pick, masterclass from him in game 1. The Karthus, already a champion he has shown very, very strong performances on during this summer split. So for Cloud9 fans, the expectation should be another dominant game to close out this series, to end the week off on a high note, solidifying their position at the top of the standings.
Yeah, I would say so coming out of draft, because the draft is almost the same, very similar. It's like, okay, the Ezreal mid instead of the Lucian mid. But other than that, it's extremely similar. A lot of very similar components here that do the same thing. So you can tell like the type of playstyle Shopify were practicing this week, this like short week leading into the games this weekend. And it's on them to just try and clean up some of the mistakes. You know, we'll see if... goal number 1 is, of course, don't give up the first blood on the crabs. That'll be goal number 1, and then we'll work from there, Rafaa. One step at a time, all right?
There you go. You know, just try to identify or re-identify the fundamentals. You know, every few minutes, check the timers, making sure that you have priority in those side lanes so that you can play for the objectives once again, and so that everything just doesn't fall apart at the first sign of conflict. But we are on to the rift for game 2, and Cloud9 have brought their duo lane into the mid lane. Blaber trying to see if he can push Tomio off of this Raptor camp.
Yeah, Maokai, you know, tanks versus these AP jungles is always going to be pretty difficult. You really got to rely on your lanes. You don't have a lot of the options that some of the solo queue, you know, counters to those champs will have, where they try and go for invades, try and go for, you know, champs that can try and run him down. But we'll see what they do, because Cloud9, like we expected, they go in with their level 1 on their bottom side, actually, and grab their deep ward towards the blue buff. Berserker and VULCAN now positioning very, very aggressively. Alistar, of course, since you... Well, they're going to retake here with everybody, it looks like.
They haven't left yet. I mean, they see Zeyzal and BVOY on the blue buff, but now that Tomio has joined, Berserker and VULCAN wrap around, but they were spotted on this, so Shopify have full knowledge that the duo lane is going to try to harass them off the blue buff, but if it comes to it, Tomio can use the smite and secure it, but it does slow down the clear, and it slows down Zeyzal and BVOY's approach to the bottom lane. But now with those, you know, shenanigans out of the way, Blaber's going to try to answer on the top side.
Yeah, and it's really annoying because, you know, it slows down your take a little bit, but it also makes you go over to Wolves instead of immediately over to Gromp. And like you're saying, Blaber this whole time, while your bottom lane is harassing him, just gets to take your quadrant, and you run into this problem as a Maokai where you are behind a jungler that clears faster than you and beats you, so, you know, one versus one. So like, your options are so limited that you have to rely on a laner to bail you out, and your laners have to be winning in order to do that. So we'll see what he does, because right now it's tough for Tomio. The defensive ward I want to point out on the minimap right now as he crosses, right here, we'll see him. You're playing into Cloud9's hands, and so he throws the sapling. Smart for him. He doesn't just start them up because he's well aware. And Blaber's going to be able to defend his Raptors and take the other side now.
Yeah.
Tomio going to have to kind of wander around, and basically as Blaber now, you get your vision of him and you just keep matching because he has nowhere to go. So Blaber goes back over. He knows that Tomio's coming to this side now to take his wolves, and Tomio has to rely on Renekton to try and help him get a single extra camp in the game, and that camp will be the Cloud9 Gromp.
Yeah, because that's the only lane that he was able to get prio through. jojopyun took a massive trade, forcing Insanity to recall and teleport back to lane, so he cannot actually invade through bottom side since his bot lane is also losing the push against Berserker and VULCAN. So Tomio, I mean, thankfully for him, he's able to get the Gromp back, but this still puts him behind in terms of the pace, and Blaber is still accelerated.
Yeah, you get your Gromp plus Crab plus your own Krugs there, but your camps are so out of order with their respawn times too. It's definitely hard for him to keep up with the Karthus. Meanwhile, Blaber on the bottom side will get the bottom Crab and does have his nice early lead on the Karthus, so should be smooth sailing for him. Bottom side doing a lot of work for him too. You know, VULCAN and Berserker were able to shove in and get the early recall here. This is your quote-unquote cheater recall, cannon wave here, and VULCAN even pulls the wave, so Shopify now, they know that if they left it alone, their wave was going to push out and away for them, so they have to annihilate this cannon wave. And this is plenty of time for Berserker to get back with his nice little buy, the recurve bow already in his pockets. It is a cannon wave, so he's at most going to lose like one melee minion, and VULCAN actually going in here, try and mess with them, and then he should be in range for the volley even to get his cannon. Even gets the execute from VULCAN, so nice little teamwork there. Doesn't lose out on anything, and now you're in the state where you come back with your recurve bow ready.
And Blaber's already here on the top side to play for the second rotation of Raptors, making sure that Tomio is just bled and choked out of this game through economy. I mean, we know that thankfully for Shopify fans that Tomio is on a utility jungler again this game, but still, giving over free gold over to the Karthus, who is just going to continue accelerating, and if you don't have a chance to make any plays on the map, then you're just looking at game one results all over again.
Well, at least it is better start here, not giving up first blood. So
sure,
that's nice. Count your blessings, Rafaa.
Yeah.
No first blood given up. Although with the Ezreal pick instead of the Lucian pick, you don't have the aggressive look, right, for an Insanity. Ezreal early on is fine, but is not nearly as aggressive as the Lucian, being able to jump in and make such good use of the piercing lights. Meanwhile, nice little job here. JoJo's going to collect this wave and have it pushing back towards him, even though he did miss that melee. So small minus point here, but is going to have a really nice situation because Insanity's got no teleport. So you're just like, all right, we keep our wave in mid. It just evaporates your cannon wave that was sitting there.
Yeah.
And JoJo's going to have a nice little advantage for himself. Plus, he already had his tier stacking, had his tier buy, so he's got the lead on the tier stacking, he's got the lead in the CS, he's got the lead in the jungle on his side. Everything is looking great.
Yep, Blaber went for the first dragon on the bottom side of the map. Tomio, because he has prio from FakeGod's Renekton, can look for the first rotation of Grubs. And one of the things I want to point out for Cloud9, even though this is against one of the bottom teams in the league, the evolution that we wanted to see from Cloud9 from Spring Split is just having these players play more together. You're seeing the evolution already come through in the Summer Split. VULCAN is taking more roam timers. Berserker confident that he can handle himself in the 1v2, doing it well in sync so that Berserker's never under threat for too long. Blaber and VULCAN also playing more around jojopyun's laning phase has allowed Cloud9 to hopefully translate a lot of those advantages that they want to get into the mid game.
Well, this is nice. There's a pushing wave down here, so they actually go for it on Zeyzal because Blaber's coming.
And Berserker is level 6, a huge chunk. The flash forward, the ignite is ticking down. That should be first blood for VULCAN.
And he barely survives as well. He does not go down to BVOY. Now Blaber is here, level 6. BVOY, good luck over there. Blaber is going to be able to stop off and take the blue first. Ooh, that'd be quite nice. Get a little bit of extra cooldown reduction before you do your first ultimate. Grab the blue. BVOY giving nice respect. Kind of backed off a little bit there.
True shot barrage! Nice reaction from VULCAN. We'll see it over the crab vision.
Tomio. JoJo's coming for some hide and seek. Tomio's level 6 though, and has flash, so. And a blast cone to play with.
Does Tomio want to play for this? He has collapse from Insanity. jojopyun might have gone too deep. The Twisted Advance will lock him down. Nature's Grasp for the further route, but he finally gets the flash out, and Blaber's here to answer back.
Let's see. Good trade right there. Getting no flash on JoJo. Again, this is something they achieved in the first game, but were unable to punish and actually get a kill, a repeat gank or a kill later. But maybe this time around they can actually get a kill onto JoJo.
That's the evolution we want to see from Shopify this game.
Exactly. Rest of the Cloud9 team does come mid, though. JoJo does not go for the recall. Chugs the potion and gets one more
flash. Wait a minute. Looking for jojopyun. Puns VULCAN right back. He still has flash available, so he shouldn't be in danger, but nice intercept on the first Battle Dance cast. But still, VULCAN has enough mobility to escape.
Yeah, and these wards, too, they left behind. Do see Blaber heading over, so they're not going to overstay their welcome here. VULCAN gets another zombie ward for himself, and it should be a arrow. Nice.
Right on a Zeyzal, no flash. Here comes the Requiem for a little bit of extra damage. And Berserker should be able to get in range. VULCAN waiting for another grand entrance for the knockup potentially. Just the auto attacks and the slows guarantees the kill over to Berserker.
Berserker the sniper. He has had a pretty strong career in North American LCS on Ashe specifically. Has always had really good Ashe arrows as well as team fighting. So Cloud9 pretty happy with this one. Bottom lane doing a lot of work. You mentioned they're roaming, but it's not even just VULCAN. Berserker getting in there too, getting his hands dirty. The closer Ashe arrows, much easier to hit and get the extra chase down there as well. So nice little rotation too. They had JoJo go bottom since Berserker spent his time roaming up to mid, and they're matching the little bit of a swap here.
Yeah. During that time, Tomio showed on the top side of the map, and as soon as he was in vision of Thanatos, immediately respect flash, did not want to fall prey and give FakeGod a larger advantage than need be.
Definitely do not. The Renekton with the CS advantage and trying to make the most of the pick. Remember, we should also include the Gromp take for the Renekton advantage, because Renekton was the whole reason that Tomio was able to take the Cloud9 Gromp, so we'll give him 4 more on that CS leap.
I mean, Shopify, just the fact that they gave the Skarner over so that they can guarantee some priority with the Renekton counterpick in the top lane is one of the only saving graces for Shopify Rebellion so far this game. They haven't been able to make a huge advantage off of it, but they're not bleeding gold like they were at this point in the game.
Yep. All right. They know the Blaber's top side, so thinking about something on the other half of the map. Tomio walking around, dragging up in a little under 40 seconds here as they try and plant saplings in as many brush as they can.
Oh, flash W onto JoJo. No flash from before. That's the kill setup. And I don't think jojopyun was respecting the all-in potential from Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, good punish there from Tomio. Flashes on him. They do improve on the previous game and get their actual kill scored after burning JoJo's flash earlier. Nicely done there for Shopify, getting the gold into the hands of Insanity, plus he's able to get turret plates afterwards. This is exactly the player they need to get some more money in, him and BVOY. See if they can turn this one into the dragon while Blaber used all of his mana up on those grubs. So should be able to get themselves a dragon too here for Shopify.
There we go. Shopify already showing a little bit more signs of life in the second game of the series.
Can they get out after, though?
Cloud9 are going to try to challenge. Blaber still has Requiem if he wants to cast it while the rest of Cloud9 follows up, but Shopify escort themselves safely back into the jungle.
Yeah, nice little slide over the wall there for BVOY as Ashe Arrow is coming in. Good improvements here from Shopify to make the game much more competitive than number one. They're, of course, still facing goal deficit, and the Skarner here is going to provide a lot of CC and control for these dual carries of Blaber and JoJo later on. So definitely still some more danger here for Shopify to have to deal with, but definitely improvements.
12 minutes into the game, 2 minutes away from these rift or these tower plates from falling. Shopify, the fact that they were able to get 3 grubs this game, a dragon apiece as well, they're in a much more competitive state, and still playing off of the fact that jojopyun for, well, actually only for a few more seconds before his flash comes up, but those are the type of plays where Shopify, as soon as you know that timer is available to you, you cannot hesitate. You have to be proactive and be the first ones making those plays in the first place.
Yeah, I think the next thing we're going to look at as we head into the mid game here is that the difference in compositions becomes apparent when you look at the ease of getting picks. Cloud9 side, it is very, very easy since they have super long range and versatile ways to get picks with Ashe, Arrow, plus Rakan and Skarner. Meanwhile, Shopify, it's much more dangerous. When Zeyzal goes in for flank possibilities on an Alistar, every time it is extremely dangerous because you have to be so sneaky, you have to be very diligent about tracking enemy wards. If they see you, then you become the prey. And if you don't have a flank, then you're just not going to have the surprise factor to be able to actually get your engage, since Cloud9 do again have their little bit of a range advantage. So the next difficult here thing for Shopify to overcome is going to be that. And so it's very critical that they try and get some vision advantages and try and get those surprise angles so you can get a good Maokai ultimate, so you could get a good Alistar snap engage flank combination. Because otherwise, Cloud9, they get the choices, right? They get to say, all right, Berserker, you've got your Fog of War. It's a great time to fire some Ashe arrows. Or Skarner comes at you through the wall, surprise. Or Rakan comes at you from 2 screens away, surprise.
And Blaber's got the insistence of Thanatos and VULCAN playing on the top side of the map. He pops a Requiem. I wonder if he was just trying to farm a Dark Harvest stack or something?
Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's very low, but they're a little early ultimate sometimes here to prep for a dive.
Getting a decent amount of damage. FakeGod forced to pop the Dominus and spaces out the Call of the Meek, so nicely done. Just enough chunk damage to force the Renekton off the tower. True Shot Barrage will attempt to kill the wave, but Thanatos and jojopyun have enough damage to take out the tier 1.
There you go. The pressure early. He's under tower. Lay on the ult first. You got your Leandri's burn started. Chase him down, and he hit enough Qs to grab a Dark Harvest on the way out. So you get your tower, you get your Rift Heralds, and Cloud9 doing a good job of pushing the game state forward here. Even though they will sacrifice bottom outer tower, the fact that they got the Rift Herald means you then get the advantage on getting mid towers down. Mid tower, much more critical here in gaining control of the mid game, so they'll be able to have that Rift Herald push for a mid take.
Yeah, and Shopify answering on the bottom side of the map, making sure that they are not falling too far behind in gold and objective advantages. The next dragon is going to be spawning in 1 minute and 20. Baron's still not going to be on the table for some time. We're at only 15 minutes into the game. Cloud9 getting resets off of their duo lane at the moment, and that should be first items coming in as well. So everyone on the side of Cloud9, very strong point. What item spikes? I imagine this is the time where they're going to start pushing that vision line deeper into Shopify's blue side jungle and pushing them off the dragon.
All right, so Shopify now, you've got both your teleports ready for a counterplay, so they're looking at bottom side currently, since Dragon is coming up shortly, and trying to make use of that bottom tower being down, maybe get some deeper vision through the jungle. Then you can get those surprise plays we were talking about for the Maokai, for the Alistar. If they can get a good setup, a good angle on the fight, then maybe you get your snapped engage. BVOY here, though, still looking for his level 11. There you go. Got the rank 2 ultimate. Tomio gonna fire it off.
Zeyzal goes for the knockup and interrupts VULCAN, but he gets the grand entrance anyway. The lightning crash is popped by BVOY, and VULCAN dashes back over to Blaber for safety. Berserker was taken low. True Shot Barrage dinks VULCAN for a bit of extra damage. The dragon will be spawning in 5 seconds, but Zeyzal took a lot of damage in the fire, and he's gonna get a chance to recall. But Shopify, they have vision on the bottom side of the jungle. They might still be able to play for this.
Interesting, Berserker does not back. They wanted to do the Rift Herald mid play immediately. So Berserker's still going to be at 50%. He did save his flash on that previous engage though, so still has that to survive with.
FakeGod was fading on over. He's going to join the squad so he doesn't have the burn to teleport, but Thanatos is working on the bottom side of the map as well. So Cloud9, with the push and the fight, they still get 2 turrets for themselves, and they still have control of the river and the dragon.
They certainly do. They can easily push up mid and bottom and continue to poke away, try and use their little range advantage here from the Dragon setup. Shopify, are they going to go for it? Tomio ultimates at the ready.
Requiem is fired for the initial burst of damage. The Nature's Grasp comes across. Another True Shot barrage hits Berserker in the back. Massive knockup from Zeyzal, but Berserker flashes before FakeGod can get in range. Thanatos with the flash impale will bring BVOY right back into the team. And Shopify may have given their best attempt yet, and it just wasn't good enough.
Clean from Thanatos here, comes in on the side as the rest of Cloud9 got full comboed by the Alistar.
The game.
Thank you, Flowers. Flowers ganks us from the left side. Thanatos ganked them from the right side. But it is, you know, the full send attempt. Zeyzal, you see him on the blast cone, goes for the full combo, gets 3 members. And so the rest of Shopify try to follow up, flashing forward. But as we mentioned, Berserker had his flash cleanse still available. So Berserker does not die. He flash cleanses to safety, and Thanatos there runs one into the wall and then is able to ultimate to grab the other for the extra kills. And Cloud9 right back to pushing on both sides of the map.
Kobe, this is very tough for Shopify. And at Cloud9, I mean, being able to show their dominance once again, that seems so good for Shopify, the way the engage started off, but just quick reactions from the back line of Cloud9 being able to dodge up on the follow-up from frontline members of Shopify. We now have a 5,000 gold advantage heading into the 19th minute of the game. 2 Dragons to Cloud9, and they have full control of this topside jungle.
Yeah, it's a couple small things where we're looking at all these little things that Cloud9 are doing that set themselves up with extra advantages. You know, all of them rotate to the bottom side, just cleanse out the Ashe arrow here, but all of them on that dragon fight, they hug the bottom side where, never mind, another one.
They're going to force a fight here. VULCAN still has flash if he needs it, pops the quickness and charms the entrance from Tomio, burning down to the ignite, and Thanatos picks up the kill. Another impale, locks up Zeyzal, as now he is gone next. jojopyun finding the kill on that one, and Insanity BVOY do not have the safety to walk up anymore.
I'm ready for Flowers. Where's it? He didn't pop out this time. They're keeping us on our toes. But then it does have a nice little ultimate first there, and the E is always so nice and easy to use if you're just right next to them. Quick little insta E into the wall, but yeah, it's just desperation times for Shopify. So they're like, you know what? If we ever see an angle, we're just gonna full send and hope for the best at this point, because completely bleeding out the game. And a full credit to Cloud9 for bleeding them out this way.
Yeah.
They keep on removing the options here. They're really doing a good job with you know, those early picks that we highlighted with the Corki and Karthus and Skarner, making it very difficult. And again, I have to say, even though it is later in the draft, but having the Ashe here for Berserker and VULCAN on the Rakan has just been quite a godsend for them. I mean, the early roaming and map influence that these two had, really allowing for such a smooth scaling game here for the other 2 carries, is set themselves up so that at 20 minutes, we again are looking towards the Baron area of the map, as objective bounties have spawned here for the side of Shopify, since they are so far behind in the game. And
yeah,
Cloud9 once again looking for their own moves.
Shopify committing the teleport of Insanity to join on the top side of the jungle. Cloud9 don't have Blaber on the top side quite yet. They're going to look for a pick onto him, but he has flash, and he flashes just to get more distance so that Shopify could not follow up on the play.
Flanking. They might want a little piece, but Blaber's so far away, yeah. Don't want to complete on that flank, but he did a good job pushing in and then threatening the jungle flank. The rest of Cloud9 just said, hey, we're going to head over towards Baron after that instead. We know they have no Maokai ultimate for this team fight, and Maokai ultimate is like the main thing that Shopify are really banking on to make that comeback team fight. Now they just got to hope for a miracle.
Requiem opens up, decent burst damage to start off the fight, 3k HP on the Baron, and the arrow from Berserker will stop Tomio in his tracks, and they follow up to take him down.
Cloud9 will be able to have a 2-0 clean series here versus Shopify. It is looking like Shopify cannot do anything, Rafaa. Cloud9 taking away all their options. Baron buff again, and we're saying it's only 21 and a half minutes in.
Thanatos over the wall, the impale turns that crocodile into boots and a belt for Cloud9, as they're going to take that money back to the bank. But they're content continuing the siege against only 3 members of Shopify. The only frontliner is Zeyzal. And on this cow, I don't know how much he's going to be able to achieve. Tomio has respawned, but the tier 3 is already destroyed, and Cloud9 will take the prize.
Yeah. They want to go back to the bank, as you said. they
got to spend that money.
They've got so much cash. They're like, what do I do with all this cash, Rafaa? I go get some more luxury items. Maybe Jojo here gets a little fancy. He's got his flash, though, so probably at best they would be able to get a summoner spell. Not even going to get that. There's also no damage behind Zeyzal and Tomio, so yeah.
Yeah. It is now over 10,000 gold for the side of Cloud9. And at this point in the game, you know, Shopify from game 1 had tried to take the game slower, but you could see that in game 2, the adaptations were, guys, we need to be more proactive. If we don't try to make moves, then we're going to fall behind anyway. And I will give the benefit of credit to Shopify that they tried to fish for plays on the right timers. Berserker didn't have sums in that red jungle fight. Unfortunately for them, VULCAN was able to block a lot of the initiation, the CC, and so all of Shopify's plays that they have attempted so far still just outplayed by Cloud9 in the end.
I'm just really worried for this Shopify team because they're starting with a 0-3 and then going into a long break. Plus, these last 2 games are maybe the most brutal. A lot of their games have been brutal, but these ones truly have been that way. Here we go with the ultimate again to soften them up before the actual confrontation.
jojopyun and Berserker will press forward, crashing the tier 3, looking for the inhibitor both in the mid lane and the bottom lane. Shopify, they are on their last defense. One last attempt to stop this game from ending, from letting Cloud9 take the series. But a 5-man strong push with Baron buff on their side. It doesn't look like it will happen. The flash from Zeyzal will find Jojo, but he gets the flash, and Berserker can follow up on the engage. Zeyzal is burned down to the ground. Then Thanatos will lead the charge once again, throws a big rock to soften Shopify, even in the safety of their fountain. And Tomio was looking for the flank on the left side, forced the flash away. The True Shot Barrage does deal decent damage to Jojo, but both of the Nexus towers are gone. Cloud9 can now look to just full hit and step up forward. Shopify, one last chance. It's not gonna matter. Cloud9 will sweep the series against Shopify Rebellion.
Complete and utter domination. Quick 2-0 for C9. Sitting up there at the top of the standings. As I said, it is going to be pretty rough here for Shopify. I'm definitely worried and really hope that they can make a turnaround in the break that we're about to have here. Maybe some intense practice time and come back looking like a new and refreshed team.
That's right. Well, with that series win, we're going to send it down to Emily on the stage to join the Cloud9 squad for the interview.
All right. Blaber. I'm gonna pull you for an interview. Yeah, we're just pulling you right from the bow now, you know. Congratulations on the win. Yeah, I don't know why there's 3 marks here. There we go.
There we go. Okay.
First time. Congratulations on the win. I've joked a lot about how you're living your best life with these AP farming junglers. What's the meta been like for you?
I'm enjoying playing the AP junglers, but right now I'm honestly having more fun playing Sejuani. That's the most fun I've been having. It's kind of boring, full clearing only. And just, you know, my team goes to 3v4, I press ult on Karthus, and I'm just kind of chilling.
I'm floored, actually, because you're so efficient at farming, and this is such a great meta for you. And also, I believe you are the first jungler I've ever heard saying they're having fun playing Sej.
Actually, my Karthus game I played really bad, I think. My early game pathing was really bad. I really screwed up after I invaded. I should just went to my Gromp and my Wolves. Just, even if it takes my chickens, it's fine, because my rotation of camps was so bad afterwards. So I really trolled that game, so I wasn't happy with how I played early game. But yeah, I mean, I like full clearing and then being able to, you know, fight a lot. But I feel like on Karthus, I'm just full clearing and then full clearing their camps.
Well, hope you can, you know, maybe get the Zyra. She fights a little more, like Talia, something in there. This team really looks like they're coming together. I know we talked to Reaper before the game, and he said when you have 5 really good individuals, they will automatically come together as a team. So what's it been like having him return as C9 coach and then obviously integrating Thanatos into the roster?
This felt really good, at least for me. Like, we've been doing really well in practice, and our games have been a lot clean. I mean, they're not clean, but they've been a lot better than I would say last split, and we're just having a lot of success. And I think confidence on the team is high, so it's just been really nice working with Reaper and Thanatos.
What do you think, obviously, outside of the individual changes, what do you think the most improvement you've made as a unit from spring to summer has been?
I think our mid game has been a lot better this split. I mean, obviously, I think our early game's been good, but I think that mid game we rotate really well now. I feel like last split I was a bit AFK in mid game, and I feel like I've improved a lot on that this split, especially working with VULCAN. So I'm really happy with how we've gotten better, but I think we'll need to play against, maybe TL or Fly to actually be able to show that.
All right, well, we'll be looking forward to that after the break. Thank you so much for taking the time, Blaber. Always great to catch up with you. And we're going to toss it to the LCS AT&T comms replay, and then Fly Dig on the other side of that.
Can they come to here? I want to fight, okay? They're really chunky.
I'm okay. You can fight after, guys.
Yeah,
Look.
Get no flash. I get no flash. Nice. That's all.
We can go mid, sorry, guys.
I'm going top, okay?
Okay. I think I can still go mid, though.
Yeah. Control their jungle.
What do they have?
Didn't you hear? It feels like you're feeling
Basically, my new connection is so strong I can game anywhere. Check it out. We've got Gamer Rocker, Gamer Floaty, Gamer Couch.
Whoa.
It's got wheels.
Gamer Bench, Gamer Throne, and Gamer Mower.
What's that?
It's hard to game while walking downstairs.
I get it.
That's smart.
Live like a gagillionaire with low latency everywhere. AT&T Fiber with All-Fi.
Red Bull gives you wings.
I've got the Samsung 990 Pro series. Shall we get started then? The speed exceeds all expectations. Reading speeds are 40% quicker than before, and writing speeds are 55% faster. Through the in-house controller, the per-watt performance has improved up to 50%. The 990 Pro's nickel coating controller for its smart thermal solution technology controls heat. Playing computer games? Obviously the best.
Hello everyone, I'm APA. I'm joined by the victorious C9 jojopyun. How's it feel to win that series?
It felt pretty good. I mean, it was kind of easy, not gonna lie. I felt like they weren't really doing too much.
They were so bad last week.
Not gonna lie, it was like pretty bad. I mean, I think right now we're just waiting for FlyQuest and TL just to verse you guys. So
yeah. So I think after this series with your 2-0, you're tied first place with me. How does it feel to be the underdog coming into my series?
I mean, not gonna lie, I think we are the underdog right now, but I mean, in scrims and hearing like how you guys are playing in scrims. I mean, I heard you guys were playing well in scrims, but when I asked FlyQuest or when we verse you guys are looking kind of shaky. So I don't know. We'll just see.
I mean, speaking of scrims a little bit, how do you think your last scrim set went versus us? Because last time you were kind of running it down.
I mean,
so
not gonna lie, it's like it's too boring that I can't focus. You know, it's like it's too easy. It's like I have to limit test kind of. So it's like we just have to experiment and just experiment what we do on the map and our plays and stuff. So
okay. So I had another question. So before I came into the league, you were a big trash talker. Now that I'm here, I've like taken that throne. So what's up with you being muzzled?
I mean, you think you're the bigger trash talker, but I think you really forced your trash talk. Like I feel like
okay.
You're like I feel like I kind of inspired you. I'm like your idol in trash talking, and you kind of type after I typed. I mean, that's like. It's kind of a compliment to me, not gonna lie, because you're kind of learning from me. So it's like I get to see my son kind of grow up in trash talk. So it's like a good thing, you know. I don't mind it.
So, but what's up with the muzzle this split then? Because I haven't seen you typing. Like you're smacking around Shopify this series, and then just, where's the typing at?
I mean, it's not really worth typing to Shopify. I just gotta wait for 5%. Like, I can type to them, but it's kind of like disrespectful at this
bullying.
point. Yeah.
Okay.
If it's like a close series or they're kind of playing well, then I feel like I can talk.
No,
but
I can get that.
We're kind of just
we don't want to bully the little guys in the league.
That's what I'm saying.
So we talked about scrims a little bit. We talked about stage. What are you guys going to do during this break? Because I'm going to be busy doing some other things that I'm not going to talk about.
You guys are going to Saudi, just versing the best teams. But
so what's C9 going to be doing this next few weeks?
We're definitely going to keep scrimming. I think we're playing a lot better right now, but we can definitely improve. Obviously, since you guys and FlyQuest are gone, I don't know if we're gonna get that many good scrims, but we'll try. We'll just try keeping our form, and hopefully you guys like get tilted at Saudi. You guys just get shit on, and then you guys come back like
get tilted and we're a worse team.
Yeah,
Okay, good game plan. All right, I think we're done here. So thanks for the interview, Jojo.
Thank you.
See you guys.